laughing loud and feeling free. Never noticed till you there was more. They can't see you really. So stand out, stand out, stand out. You're here, you're free, absolutely where you need to be. So stand out, stand out, stand out.
Welcome to the Sonshine State, a space for health, healing, and wellness.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Sonshine State. It is Sunshine Wiley coming before you. So excited to be here today. It's been some amazing things happening. The Sunshine State has actually been through some transformations, as you can see. Today we actually get to do a video version of the Sunshine State. We'll be doing these more, we'll actually be doing these from here on out. And you'll be able to actually see me and interact with me, which is really, really cool. I'm so excited about the new journeys and the new opportunities. So without further ado, thank you guys so much for joining us. The Sunshine State is a podcast that's surrounded by all things health, healing, and emotional wellness. So let's get going. Welcome back. This is episode 19. And today I want to do a real quick wellness checkup. And for the wellness checkup, I want to ask, like, out there, what are the things that we have been doing for ourselves to provide self-care, to provide love and compassion for ourselves? I know some of the things that I've been doing. I've been doing more meditation, actually doing meditation with the desire to, create peace, create mindfulness, and actually focus on the things that I want to attract to me. And feel free to send me information on the things that you guys have been doing, and I'll be willing to try those things out for myself. So, for your wellness checkup, what have you been doing? What are the things that you've been doing? I'd love to hear about it. Send that over to me. I'd love to hear about it. Anyway. So let's just go ahead and dive into our topic for today. Today, I want to talk about, is happiness allowed? I always ask a question at the top of the podcast, wondering, what is a question or what is the thing that we want to dive into today? So today we want to dive into wondering if happiness is allowed. And what I mean by that is, have you ever actually found yourself avoiding expressing happiness to yourself or to others? Like, say, for instance, some huge things happen for you and you're just like, oh, okay, that was cool. I got a doctorate, or I won the lottery. That's nice. That's cool. Normally you would think that your response would be, oh my gosh, I won the lottery. But honestly, for some of us, being able to express or embrace happiness is not necessarily a natural thing, whether it be as a result of trauma or it be as a result of, accommodating or shrinking for others. I'm wondering, is happiness allowed? I'll tell you a story. There was this woman who actually was maybe in her late 40s, and she had, had kids, had gotten married, recently had a divorce. And so, she was in a place where she was trying to figure out what she wanted to do for the rest of her life. Now, this woman's story is a bit interesting because prior to meeting her husband and having children, she was on the road to becoming a lawyer. She was in law school. I think she was in her second year. I can't remember which. It was either the first or the second year. But she was in law school. And at that time, she met this amazing man who swept her off her feet and made her feel like rainbows and puppies were nothing compared to him. And so, she kind of gave it all up. Some of us do. A lot of people have done it before. And so it's no No shame towards her, but that was what she chose to do because she wanted to, have that happiness of being with someone because that was another one of her dreams. In addition to being a lawyer, she also wanted to have a family. She wanted to have this incurable love. So when she found this incurable love, she made the decision to put her career on pause. Now, what she didn't realize is that her pause would end up being another 30 years. Not 30 years, sorry, another 20 years. And, at that point, her kids were, 18 to 20. And, she was just like, now that my kids are in college or finished with college, I think one was finished with college and one was just starting college. And they were both kind of doing well for themselves. And they didn't really need her. And unfortunately, she had recently gone through a divorce. And as a result of that divorce, the kids weren't super happy with her. About all that had happened. And, they kind of blamed her because along the lines of her actually going into the marriage and getting out of the marriage, she became very unhappy because, of course, she settled. She settled into this lifestyle that was only a portion of her dream. And she felt resentment towards her children as well as towards her husband because she felt like they kept her from being able to realize the other half of her dream. And we can talk about that a little bit more later, but honestly, they didn't take anything from her. She chose to put her dream on pause when, if we're actually creating balance for ourselves, we can find a way to make sure that we are getting the best of both worlds because you don't have to sacrifice your desires and your dreams and your career for a family. I personally do not believe that is, mandatory. You can have both. I believe that with all my heart. But anyway, she got to a point where she was just, everybody can tell that she was unhappy. Everybody can tell that she wasn't pleased with the way things were going. She was angry with people all the time. She was irritable, the way that she kind of would chew out her husband. Of course, maybe it was a big factor as to why they got divorced. Who knows what the case was? I'm not, all the way in their marriage like that. But she, was very unhappy. She began to express that to everybody who was near and closest to her. And, as a result of that, the marriage went sour. The kids started to be more distant toward her and all the nurturing that she gave them early on. She wasn't really needed to give them anymore because they're in college. They don't need you anymore. So, after she did all that, she got the divorce. She started to soul search and figure out for herself what it is that I need in order to make sure that I can continue the rest of my life being happy. Now, of course, being in your late 40s, you're still in the place where you can still find love. So it's not like love was just a closed caption or a closed case for her, but she felt like that wasn't a priority anymore because she had experienced love and she had been fulfilled in that way. And she was like, let me see what it's like to be fulfilled by doing or fulfilling my actual dream. So she decided to return back to law school and finish her degree. Now, of course, being in law school is like super tedious. So she dove in head first. She had all these things that, these papers, these documents, these studies, class on top of class, where she submerged herself in it. And that became her life, and she wasn't worried anymore about the loneliness. She wasn't worried anymore about not feeling needed and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And as we all know, sometimes that's a Band-Aid. But she began to do all of these things and she submerged herself into that. And, as it turns out, she finished. She didn't want to actually become a practicing lawyer. She thought, maybe I'm too old to be a practicing lawyer because who wants to hire a new lawyer in their 50s? So, she was like, okay, I got the degree. I'm good. Maybe I'll just teach. And so, this was her thought process going through it, right? So by the time she finished, she was like, okay, cool. Okay, I finished. Now what? Now what's next? She sat in there in the moment and she completely lost herself because she replaced one thing that was covering up a portion of her dream for another thing that covered up the other portion of her dream. And it was so sobering for her that she actually fell into a depression. She fell into a depression and she felt like, I've done all these things. I finally accomplished these things and I'm not happy anymore. I'm not at peace anymore. I'm not to the place where I feel like I can even enjoy being a lawyer, having a law degree. I can't enjoy having those things because now it's for nothing. And as she sought out medical assistance or professional help through a therapist, she began to discover that the reason why she couldn't express that happiness is because she had suppressed it so long. She had gotten used to being the victim. She had gotten used to being the person who was woe is me or behind and all that kind of stuff. And she had to really reteach herself how to embrace and how to love on herself and how to embrace happiness and good things when they happen. Now, I'll take it to me. I know for me, when I've been in a situation like that, I've actually had great things to happen to me. And because those great things weren't the same great things that were happening for other people who were trying to achieve the same things, I had to kind of pretend like I wasn't as happy. And I'll tell you what, that wasn't very effective. It wasn't serving me well, and it wasn't serving these other people well. Number one, it's not my responsibility to make everybody happy. People are responsible for their own happiness. And in order for me to actually also be responsible for my happiness, I needed to embrace and to allow those good things to penetrate my heart, penetrate my spirit. Because, I just thought to myself that I don't want to end up being one of these people that have all these accomplishments, have all these accomplishments, have all this money, have all this dope stuff happening for me. And then I'm still depressed. I'm still battling with anxiety because I can't allow myself to be free enough to acknowledge that these are wonderful things, that these are the dream, that these are the goals that I was always reaching for anyway. So, of course, there are a lot of underlying things that can go into that. You may have experienced a traumatic experience. You may have experienced, like I said before, having to shrink to make other people feel better. It's a lot of ways that this can develop. But today we want to talk about steps to actually come out of that, steps to take to move forward and to move into and operate in happiness. I know for me, again, when I talked about those experiences, the way that I actually began to express that happiness and walk into that happiness is just to acknowledge that this is a great thing that's happened. To acknowledge that this is a wonderful thing that I'm experiencing and that I'm happy about. It may seem really simple, but sometimes for some of us, it's like, even saying that this is a good thing is more than what we can handle. So today I want to take a moment for all of us to really breathe in the good things and exhale the bad things. It's so many good things that's happening around you. And once you focus more on the good, more of the good can come to you. And so when you allow happiness to happen, more happiness can flourish within your life. I believe that wholeheartedly. Of course, we have different schools of thought on what that terminology would be called, either the principle of sowing and reaping or manifestation or law of attraction, all that good stuff. But they're all based around the same thing of basically allowing your thoughts, your dreams, your goals, your vision, and those things that are within you to go out into the world so that they can return back to you even more, And so as we operate in feelings of uplifting, of feelings of being uplifted, feelings of being restored, feelings of being encouraged, we can actually operate more so in those things. Because if I operate as if I am a happy being, as if I am a happy person, and, I allow those happy things to come towards me, then, those things will come. Another way we can make sure that we're operating and allowing happiness to flow in and through us is acknowledgement. What I decided to actually do for myself, because I'll tell you the quick story about myself. There was an opportunity that I had for music as well as voiceover, and At that time, there was a person who was very close to me who also wanted the same thing. And as a result of them not getting that same thing, they began to be very mean to me, very brash, harsh and just resentful and all that kind of stuff towards me. And, moments like those make me shrink back. And just like I said earlier, I had to realize that it's not up to me to make them happy. So one of the things that I decided to do as a result of moments like that is I decided to let go of their feelings and not. And when I say let go of their feelings, I don't mean ignore their feelings or pretend as if their feelings don't matter. But I decided to let go of their feelings in a way where it's not a determining factor as to whether or not I can be happy in this moment. Let go of their feelings and accept their feelings. Accept that it's okay for them to feel exactly how they feel. It's okay to be disappointed about something that you were really excited about. It's okay about that. But I also had to have a real conversation with them about that. Like, my success and my happiness and the good things that have happened for me don't mean that you aren't also able to have good things, because there is plenty of opportunity, plenty of space, and plenty of room for us all to thrive. It's plenty of room, space, and opportunity for us all to do dope things. I mean, because there's not only one slot for dopeness in this world. It's not. So I had to let go of their feelings, embrace and accept what their feelings were, but relinquish myself from being responsible for their feelings. Because acceptance doesn't mean being responsible for somebody else. It just says, you know what, I acknowledge and I understand how you feel. I'm still going to be happy, but I understand how you feel. And me personally, I would say, okay, so what can I do to help you along your way? I can provide critiques just like you provided for me. We can be iron sharpening each other. We can be iron sharpening iron, And so that's one way that really, really set me free, being able to accept the fact that there is dopeness in me. There's dopeness in everybody, but you being able to actually accept your dopeness without feeling like it's attached to an ego is major. Like, my dopeness doesn't mean that I think I'm better than everybody else. It means that I have something wonderful about me and I'm happy about it. I have something wonderful inside of me and I'm excited and accepting of that thing. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with accepting and acknowledging and really embracing that thing. So that's another thing, letting go. And then in addition to letting go, grab a hold of the gift that's inside of you. Actually grab a hold of that thing and begin to allow it to flourish. Again, like I said before, when you send more things out that are ideal for you or in the way that you want them to be, those things will begin to even more come back. That's the reason why practice makes perfect. You've heard that saying, practice makes perfect. The more you do a thing, the better you get at it. That's just like sowing and reaping. The more you sow into a certain area, the more you'll see that certain thing come right back to you. All of those things coming together, all those things flow right together. I don't have to behave as if I have to hide the dope parts of me anymore. That's one of the pieces of me being able to grab a hold of my gift, that I no longer have to hide the gifts that are inside of me. I don't have to be afraid to say, this is a gift. I'm going to stand in it. I'm going to stand in boldness. I'm going to stand in peace. I'm going to stand in encouragement and compassion for everybody who's around me, in addition to this wonderful gift that's inside of me. My gift doesn't have to seclude me or exclude me from anybody else. Now, if you decide to exclude yourself from me as a result of me embracing my gift, then that's on you. But I will not exclude you because of my gift. I accept you as you are, and I accept myself as well, And, I freed myself that way because, I have dopeness in me, and that's wonderful. That's perfectly okay. And it's okay that I get to say that I get to embrace that, and that I get to acknowledge and love on that. because I love being able to work really hard for something and accomplish it. I love being able to, really study something and really learn something and be able to share my knowledge with other people. I am a person who likes to connect people. I like to make connections for people. I like to say, oh, you have a need? Man, you could really fulfill that need. You guys should be dope together. You guys will work really well together. I like being able to do that. I like being able to stand and, all right, this is a situation. This is a situation, a need, a problem, or an instance that this person could be a great fit for. That is super dope to me. And that's one of the gifts that are inside of me. And I'm not afraid of that. I don't feel like I have to be a crab in a barrel trying to keep you from being connected or close to you. Because for whatever reason, I don't want you guys to both flourish and then leave me out or not acknowledge me. Now, it does hurt sometimes when people are like, oh yeah, we got this wonderful relationship, and then never say this wonderful relationship is as a result of sunshine. Now, and that's a totally different thing. That's a different thing that I have to deal with. But that's another podcast. That's not this one. But yes, so I know for me, I'm okay with having passion. I'm okay with having the drive to do something that I love and then take it a step further. I not only want to be dope and accept it, but I want the people around me to also be dope. I said it before, it's enough space in this world for everybody to be dope, but I really, really want the people who are close to me to be dope as well. I want them to excel and flourish in whatever it is they're putting their hands to. Like, I want to celebrate with them. I don't want to be around people who I can't celebrate and who can't celebrate me. I don't want that. I don't want my atmosphere to be contention. I don't want to feel like, what I have is a group of people who can't acknowledge the fact that a really great thing happened for you, and let's get it. Let's go have a little glass of wine. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a little celebration of something, or even just simple words like, oh my gosh, congratulations, that's dope. Sometimes words are enough, And that's the kind of atmosphere that I want to create for myself. And those are just some simple steps that we want to, be able to take and apply to our lives to be able to say, you know what, I'm okay with being happy. And it's allowed for me to walk in happiness. It's allowed for me to be ecstatic about the fact that this amazing thing just happened. It's okay for that. It's okay to really be able to say, you know what, I love the fact that this little dope piece of me is shining its light right now. I love it. I love it. And I want to encourage you guys and everybody who's listening. I want to encourage you to really sit down and give yourself an opportunity to acknowledge the dopeness that's in you too. I want you to take an opportunity to sit down and applaud yourself for the accomplishments that you made. You may not be done accomplishing things at all. You may not be done reaching your goals. You might not be done at all, but the small steps along the way and the small victories and the wins or just the great moments that you have, the memories that you've made, those things are worthy of applause. Those things are worthy of taking a moment to be mindful of. Those moments are worthy of you embracing and enjoying. You are worthy of happiness. You are worthy of peace. You are worthy of hope. And you are worthy of dope things coming to you each and every single day. So take a moment today, sit in that, and really allow it to embrace you and to engulf you and breathe it in. Because, hey, why not? Life is difficult enough, especially with all this COVID stuff that's going on, quarantining, you can barely travel, you can't go to the movies right now. And I love the movies. So it's a bit of a struggle for me. But, forget about all those things that are happening right now and just embrace the small things, the small victories that are happening right now. And I thank you guys so much for listening today. This has been an amazing journey for me, and it's going to continue to be an amazing journey. I'm so glad you guys have been on this journey with me. Just make sure that you go forth in gratitude. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to somebody else. Make sure that you go that you go and you do something that makes you feel good today. You go and do something that makes you feel loved today. Embrace yourself and love on yourself. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. This has been the Sonshine State. I am your host, Sonshine Wiley. Feel free to subscribe, like, and share. I'm available on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook at the Sonshine State. And thank you guys so much again for tuning in. Everybody have a good one. Have a good one. Bye.
So stand out, stand out, stand out. You're here, you're free, absolutely where you need to be.
Thank you for joining the journey to the Sonshine State, a space for health, healing, and wellness.